We see a boy save kids from being attacked by monsters by taking them to the cave on a hill to hide from them, but on the way they get attacked by the monsters. One appears to be a big centipede attacking from the front, but he saves the kids by hitting it with a sword. They run, but the monster appears again from behind, eats a kid, and disappears. He went to the cave carrying the girl to save her but realized she was dead. He comes out of the cave and starts digging a hole for dead people. Meanwhile, a knight named Skiers appeared and gave him bread and water as he fell. Skiers tells him that the Night of Darkness rules the country, and he starts digging a hole again in search of light that shines in the darkest holes. Skiers gives him a sword and urges him to fight. Skiers quickly attacked him, leading him to fall to the ground. He defends the second attack and picks up his sword. He attacked repeatedly, defending the attacks, but got hurt. His spirit wakes up, and he attacks, and Skiers' sword drops from his hand. Skiers falls to the ground and suggests him to pick up his sword and go to the mansion to declare that he is the Prince of Darkness. A light appears from him as his tears fall to the ground, and Skiers dies. On the other side, a queen named Iris fights with the monster of darkness and his army. A girl commander named Shima gives his army rune protection power, and all the monsters get killed. They went to their kingdom to take a rest and prepare for the next attack. The Prince of Darkness is going down an alleyway carrying Skiers' sword, and a knight named Valis attacks him. He tells him that he is the Prince of Darkness, and he accepts him as his lord. In the meantime, the Queen Iris is conversing with Shima, and a guard informed them that the western capital had been attacked by the ball. Iris flies up toward the western city to protect it with its army. Shima informs people about the threat using a blue stone on her head. A group of mages attacked the ball, but it had no effect on it, and he killed them by hitting the tower with his tail. Archers throw arrows at him, but Ball easily resists them and attacks the archers. Meanwhile, a lord named Altania comes and distracts the ball and archers left. Altania attacks with lightning, water, and fire, but it appears they have no effect, so Altania bounds him with lightning. Ball frees himself from it and attacks Altania, but he resists the attack using his power. Meanwhile, Queen Iris came and attacked Ball with her sword. On the other side, a commander named Fuse attacked the soldiers of darkness with his army. Iris attacks Ball with magical power, and he throws balls at her, but she manages to attack him with the sword. Ball throws a stone, but Iris attacks him, destroying the stone. He holds her sword and throws her away. Iris is about to attack, but Atlantia stops her, and Ball leaves the place. Valis meets the King of Darkness, and he tells Valis his intentions to cover up everything with darkness to lead the world. Valis comes back from the kingdom, gives the prince books to learn, and teaches him swordsmanship. He meets the people who live there and helps them. He got stronger, and Valis gave him Skiers' clothes to wear. A lady named Granza, who is the Princess of Darkness, is going with her army. Meanwhile, some monsters attacked her, but she killed them easily using her power. Suddenly, a monster was about to attack her, but the Prince of Darkness killed it. Granza takes him to the bar and tells him about the Great Sword of Black, and if he gets it, he will be called the true Prince of Darkness. Iris is conversing about the Queen of Light throne, and one of them will be chosen to the throne. Iris went to the forest to pick up green wilds and had dinner with Shima, Fuse, and Theo all together. Iris is standing at the tip of a mountain, and she got attacked by the darkness. Iris runs to warn Night, but the darkness covers her up, and she uses rune power to dispel the darkness. The darkness disappears, and Iris hears the voice of the White Priestess, sees a beautiful aura, and takes an oath to maintain a balance between white and black. He left Valis' place and went to the competition to win the Great Sword and become the Prince of Darkness. The competition started. A few beasts were released from prison and approached the participants. One killed the beast with his sword. The prince killed one by hitting it straight with the sword. One killed a beast with an arrow, and another with knives. A girl uses fire magic on the beast, but it has no effect, and the prince saves her. Meanwhile, an eye monster came and attacked them. The monster throws and hits them all except two. One attacks with a sword but steps back, and one lion hits its leg with his weapon, but the monster throws him away. The prince pierced the monster and killed it. A man was about to attack Prince, but another man stabbed his leg. The competition ends with 2 left. After the break, the competition's next fight starts between Adele and Prince. Adele attacks first, but he dodges it. They attack each other, dodging the attacks, and seem on an equal level, but Prince shows his true combat skills, and Adele's sword drops. The prince gives him a chance and picks up the sword. He attacks him, but he puts his sword on his neck, and Adele gives up. The prince gets the great sword and becomes the true Prince of Darkness. Valis gives him a letter to deliver to the Kingdom of White. The Prince of Darkness is going to the Kingdom of White, which is a floating continent, with Groza and Adele on a flying ship. Groza shows her worry to Prince because, even though they are special envoys, their nations are still in the fight. Adele scares Prince and suggests letting him do the job of envoy in public because he is good at speaking. They arrive at the Kingdom of White, and Commander Fuse meets them rudely. Adele pretends to be the envoy, and Prince is his bodyguard. Fuse meets them, takes the letter through a guard, and sends it to Queen Iris. Adele suggests they lower their swords, as he is a humble messenger, and makes Fuse trust that they are envoy, then they will not harm. The ship left, the prince and Adele go with Fuse to Queen Iris and wait for her. Iris comes and asks Adel questions about the letter of alliance to defeat Baal. Iris tells them that the relationship between White and Black is worse now, but to defeat the Baal, Iris tells them that she will answer another day. Fuse leaves Prince and Adele in their room, and Iris spends the night making the right decision. In the morning, the prince and Adele went to Queen Iris, and she asked the prince a question about the alliance, and he replied honestly that the alliance would help save lives. Iris accepts Black's alliance proposal. Iris is aligned with the Blacks. She went there to stop Baal, and the prince and Adele are hostages in the Kingdom of White until Baal is caught. The Black forces are ready to strike down Baal, and as he comes, Valis attacks him with a sword and with his flying army, but it doesn't work on him. Groza attacks him with crossbows, but it has negligible effect, and he attacks Groza, but she dodges it. Valis attacks Baal with his flying force and covers him around with the pink lightning magic spell, but Baal goes through it and kills the flying army. Baal comes to the ground and starts killing, but it is covered up with a magic spell, and Groza covers him up with his lightning attack. Valis attacked him with his fire sword attack, and a blast happened. Baal came from the smoke and bashed all of them away. Valis strikes him with a sword, but he roars, which makes Valis and Groza unable to move. Baal is about to attack, but before he does, the King of Darkness takes them away with darkness and covers Baal in the darkness. The king attacks him with aura balls, but he flies up and resists them. Valis and Groza appeared on the ground, and Baal dispelled the darkness around him with his powerful attacks. The king attacks with spinning plates, but Baal defends them with his attacks. Meanwhile, Queen Iris came and bound Baal, and the king threw him into the volcano and sealed him with the help of Iris. They won the fight, and Iris left the place. Prince sees Iris from the window, runs to her, and catches her from falling. Iris used so much power that it made her ill, and they carried her to the palace. Fuse informs the envoy that their job is done, and Valis commands Groza to deliver the letter to the Kingdom of White. Iris shows her concern about the Black people who bear a heavy loss, and hearing it, Adele tells them that he will advise his king to stop the fight between White and Black, while if he does so, his neck might be cut. Meanwhile, Groza comes with a letter of peace sent by the King of Darkness. Iris accepts the proposal, and orders his servant to prepare a reply. Iris shows their Kingdom of White to the envoys, and they are going through the garden where they met Theo. As he hears the envoys are from the Kingdom of Black, he shows his fear but realizes they are not bad. Theo heals a bird using his power taught by Shima, which surprises Fuse. Groza was impressed to see the bird's behavior, which is better than the Kingdom of Black. Groza liked the fashion of the Kingdom of White. Fuse and Adele exchanged their outfits, which showed the kingdom's friendship. Iris tries Groza's dress, and Shima and Groza exchange their dresses, which seems a bit funny. Fuse loses to all of them in chess, and they are hungry, so Shima gets the idea to do the dinner all together, and Shima goes to the kitchen to cook food. Shima serves the bread with soup, but the prince, Groza, and Adele found it flavorless. Groza serves food from the Kingdom of Black called anchovy, which Iris, Fuse, and Shima found salty. Prince combines the anchovy with the soup, which makes the food delicious, and all of them finished the food completely. Fuse says the green wild soup is better than anchovy soup because of the wild green, and they decided to pick green wilds together the next day. Groza shows her support for the prince. They all went to the forest to pick up wild greens. Iris takes them near a big tree, and around it, the green wilds are found densely. Fuse makes the picking of green wilds interesting by putting competition into it, and the competition is in pairs with one white and one black. The pair that takes the most wild greens will win. Iris gives them instructions to take care of a few things while collecting green wilds. Iris is out of competition, so they paired up. Adele and Shima went and started picking Fuki buds. Prince and Theo find a wild green that looks like a bird's feet and ask Iris if it is edible. It is edible but can be eaten boiled. Iris asked to accompany Prince, and he accepted. Fuse and Groza pick greens, but Fuse is angry and jealous to see Iris with the prince, but he pretends that he is just concerned to protect her from darkness. Groza praises the prince to Fuse, but he understands she is talking about Adele. They all took the wild greens. Theo took them the right way, Adele and Shima took the Fuki buds, and Fuse and Groza took everything inedible except one. The prince and Theo won the competition in numbers, while Adele and Shima won in weight. Pius, Adele, and the prince went to take wood for fire, and Iris, Shima, and Groza went to take water to cook greens. The prince realized Theo was missing, so they went to find him. The prince saw Iris, mistakenly hit her, and fell in the water. The prince asked Iris about Theo, and Iris told him that he went back. They dried their clothes, Theo was back, and they went to them. They all helped each other and cooked food. The food is delicious, and in the Kingdom of Black, it's far better than what they eat. Groza realizes that if the salt is a bit more, then the food will be more delicious, and as they sprinkle salt, it blows up the taste. They hope to spend time together again. Adele received a letter from the Kingdom of Black to get back with the prince and Groza to the kingdom. Fuse returned the swords to the prince and Adele, and they went to the Queen of Light, Iris, to say goodbye. Iris gives Adele a trade letter to deliver to the King of Darkness. Suddenly, Adele's evil spirit comes out. He converts into evil and attacks Iris to kill her, but the prince cuts him into 2 pieces. Fuse becomes angry and throws the prince to the ground, kicks him, and bounds him with rope, throwing him into jail. Shima took Iris quickly, and Fuse went to the room angrily. Shima tries to calm Fuse, but he is angry, so she leaves him alone to cool down. Iris is asking the Progenitor Runestone about the balance and whom she should protect. The prince is imprisoned, and he is trying to remember why he saved Queen Iris, and what he wants to tell her. Meanwhile, a white cat comes to the prince in jail and opens it. The cat gives visual cues to follow her, and the prince follows her, which takes him out of the palace and towards the tip of the mountain where their swords are put in the ground. The cat turns into Queen Iris, and the prince catches her from falling. Iris tells of her wish to maintain peace and make the people happy, and the prince has the same wish. They both agree to support each other to maintain peace in both kingdoms. The prince promises Iris that once he becomes king, he will maintain peace. The guards of Kingdom of White approach them, and the prince takes his sword up and jumps from the tip of the mountain. Shima and Fuse report to Queen Iris that the Kingdom of White was attacked in several areas by the darkness, and Iris commands them to be prepared for the fight. Fuse asks Queen Iris for leave so that he can go and find the treatment for her so that she can be healthy, but Iris disallows him to take leave. Fuse asks Shima to take care of his position by commanding guards, but she refuses to do so. Fuse went to Altania to discuss the treatment for Iris. Shima practices magic cage of affection with the mages for the fight. Meanwhile, a knight informs Shima that Fuse is missing, and she reports it to Iris, who already knows that he went to find treatment for her. Fuse and Atlantia enter a cave from which no one comes out once anyone enters. The prince jumped on the skyship, reached his Kingdom of Black, and started learning swordsmanship from Valis. Valis knows that the prince comes back from the Kingdom of White with new determination, and he promises to support him once the prince becomes king. Meanwhile, Groza comes and tells the prince to come with her to kill the monster, which can't be controlled by the ordinary troops. Valis went to the king and told him that the troops were ready for the attack. The prince and Groza went to the mountains to handle monsters, but on the way they got wrong monsters that killed easily. They looked forward to the monsters and got attacked by bee monsters, but the prince handled them easily, hitting them one by one. During the fight, Groza falls from the cliff, but the prince moves quickly in a zigzag motion and catches Groza, and they get down slowly with the help of his sword. A big monster appeared in front of them, and they prepared to attack. The Kingdom of White got attacked by the Kingdom of Black, and Fuse is with Altania in the cave in search of shining droplets for the treatment of Iris. Shima completes the deployment of forces for the fight but doubts if it will be enough and hopes Fuse returns. Fuse realized the way in the cave ended, but Altania took out climbing ropes and, climbing them, they found another way. Fuse is about to fall, but Altania saves him, and they are ready to go forward. Monsters attacked the palace, but mages got them away with fireballs. A mage was about to be killed, but Shima blew the monsters away with the fire magic and ordered the knights to defend people and the ground. Fuse and Altania found the cave so long, But when Altania used a special magnifying glass, he found a hidden cave through which their way became short. And they found a close, but Altania used a powerful spell that blasts the rocks, and their way opens. They found lots of crystals. Fuse hit them, but nothing happened, and Altania got the trick and used his magical powers to unlock the way to the shining droplets. Altania throws a stone in the pond, and it breaks into pieces, but even then, Fuse goes through the pond and takes the shining droplets. Shima with the mages is about to attack the monsters, but before she does, Iris blows off the monsters and falls to the ground. Shima used magic with mages, and a shield covered the city, giving them time to take action. Iris fell ill, and they took her to the palace. Fuse and Altania come out of the cave successfully and see the monsters around Shield. On the mountains, Groza stabbed the monster with an arrow and was about to attack again, but the prince ran towards the monster and slashed it, but threw it back. The prince moved quickly, and with the help of Groza, he killed the monster. They went back to the kingdom and enjoyed the meal, but Groza asked him about Iris, and she became upset and left the place. Fuse provides the shining droplets, and Shima treats Iris with them. Iris becomes healthy, and they prepare for the fight. The prince went to look at Groza, and there he got to know that Groza was kept out of the war on the king's orders, and the prince too. The people of the city request that the prince, if he becomes king, lower the taxes, and the kids request that he win the war. On the king's order, several soldiers come and summon the prince and go back with him. At the Kingdom of White, Theo does his packaging to run to a safe place. The battle starts between the kingdoms of Black and White. Monsters attack, and Iris faces the front. Fuse with the knights and Shima with the mages attack with fireballs at the monsters. Fuse cuts the monsters with his sword, and Iris sees the King of Darkness and goes to fight him. Shima's attack on the monsters with magic seems to be winning, but a large group of flying monsters come and attack, but Shima hits them with his magic ball. Fuse stops the monsters with knights on the ground. Iris fights with the king, and guards protect the people, but several guards and mages turn into evil, controlled by the evil darkness, which attacks its own people. Shima stops them without killing, and Fuse, with his knights, after killing many, still has a large group of enemies in front. Valis starts fighting with Fuse, and both show their combat skills. Iris blows off the darkness with her power, fighting the king, and the shield breaks, and darkness infects several white guards and mages, but Shima uses her magic to take them back to normal, but it keeps the darkness away for a while. Fuse attacks Valis and seems to be winning, but it no longer stands and falls to the ground under Valis' attack. Valis attacks with the darkness, and Fuse resists it and gets up in anger to kill Valis. Their swords collide. Iris takes the power from Rune and flies in to stab the king with a sword, but he dodges it and attacks Iris, leading her to fall to the ground. Shima starts complaining about the progenitor rune when it doesn't give her power. Iris comes, and they try to use one of the 7 powers but fail. Shima cheers up the Iris, and she leaves the place. Shima fights with the king, but he covers her in darkness. The prince runs and is transported to a place where Adele comes in front of him and questions him. Adele tells the truth behind sending them to the Kingdom of White, which is to kill the Queen of Light, Iris, and that it was the king's strategy. The prince takes his sword out, and Adele turns into a big monster. Adele attacks with a spinning oar, and the prince resists it with the great sword. Adele attacked again, and the prince held back, and Adele was thrown back by the blast. They show their combat skills, and the prince, dodging the attack, uses his power and seals him in the rocks, but Adele comes out of it and holds him. Adele stabbed the prince, but he was also stabbed by the prince, and he tells about their forces attacking the Kingdom of White, and the true intention of the king to conquer the world and turn all into darkness, even though no one will be left from either of the kingdoms. Adele disappears, and the prince picks up his sword and goes outside, killing the monsters. Groza comes and helps the prince kill the monsters, letting him go to save the Kingdom of White. The prince runs as fast as he can but stops for a while, thinking about the way to go up. Suddenly, wings come out of his body, and he flies up quickly. Shima falls into darkness but comes out of it without being affected and commands mages to save people. Iris is praying to Progenitor Rune to stop darkness with the last way left, as she failed to protect White and maintain the balance between White and Dark. In the sky, the prince comes like a light, killing all the monsters in his way. Iris demands to seal darkness from Progenitor Rune, and the